Okay. All right, I'll go down a little bit. Lower myself. Feel humble.
Nice. 안녕. You might notice that I'm sitting next to someone very important today.
Very important?
Yes.
Well, I know I'm very important to my wife and my family.
Yes. Well, you're also very important to a lot of people that I know who are learning Korean.
You are very important as well. Yeah. So we are both Korean teachers in a way.
Hyunwoo has the very famous and well-known, you probably already know his channel actually, Talk to Me in Korean, website, book series, podcasts, videos. I know you also have lots of reading practice materials.
Yes. So we've been doing this for a while, since 2009. So it's been how many years? Like 8?
Yeah, 7 or 8 years I think now.
Yes.
At that time, there weren't very many channels, I think, for learning Korean. There was Korean Class 101.
Yes. Yeah, and you know I worked with them too.
Right,
Yeah.
that's where you started.
Yeah, with the founder of the company, and I decided to go my own path. And yeah, there we are.
It's worked out great, I think.
Yeah, thank you. So we are now sitting in a half-finished recording studio, hence the echo.
For those of you though who don't know who Hyunwoo is, if there's any of you, besides Talk to Me in Korean, he is also a Korean who learned English without traveling, well, without living abroad in a country that speaks English, which if you've spent any time in Korea, you'll know that's extremely rare.
I'm trying to, make it less rare by helping people learn. So I'm also an English instructor in Korea. Okay, so I believe you have some questions for me.
Yes, I do. I wasn't meeting with you just to chat here.
Chatting is fine.
One thing though is, what do you think is the reason why Korean has just exploded in the past, within the past 10 years?
Within the past 10 years, yes. Nobody knows for sure why that is. Nobody knows how much longer it'll continue. But one thing that I do know for sure is that the Korean culture in general has become more convenient to access and also to enjoy. Maybe because these showbiz companies have done a great job, Psy included, or JYP, or many other companies that actually went abroad to perform and also to sell their albums. And I think a hugely underestimated and underappreciated or underrated element is all the Korean people who go abroad to learn English or French or Spanish or any other languages. My theory is that Korean people kind of mingle and mix pretty well with the local people that are there, and then they approach them.
It's true.
In a way that it's not so intimidating, and they eventually leave the country after having taught them how to use chopsticks or you eat kimchi or drink soju or play at least some drinking games. So they leave and their friends are left there and they're thinking, oh, I missed that friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not saying that all Korean people are like
that. Happened to me.
Really?
That's what first got me into Korean. Was I had a friend at college. He hung out at the same table at lunch, and we talked to him every day. And sometimes he'd try to teach me Hangul, and I thought, wow, this is interesting. I never even knew about this.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is, since all the other aspects of the Korean culture are becoming more readily available, I'm also trying to make the Korean language aspect more readily available, more easier to access.
Yeah.
Because before
there was nothing. When I was learning, there were some random phrase books that you could buy at the bookstore.
Yeah. Also, that is only applicable and true when you're talking about Korean language books that are like taught in English. Even like since a long time ago, there have always been books.
Some books,
teaching Korean, but only in Korean.
Yeah, for Korean.
So in chapter 1, they would be teaching how to say hello, 안녕하세요. But then everything else would be written in Korean, like 다음 지문을 읽고 물음에 답하시오.
Yeah, there's like this huge learning curve for trying to get started in the language. So if you wanted to do it, you had to be serious about it. You couldn't do it as a hobby for fun.
And you couldn't do it without a teacher. So
it was expensive too.
Yeah, so that's why we decided to start publishing lessons in English.
Now you have pretty much every single type of resource that a Korean learner would ever imagine of having. So.
Not enough yet.
Okay, well there you go. So more stuff coming in the future.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the main reason though I wanted to ask, you've learned English as someone who lived in Korea pretty much the same way that everyone else in Korea learn English.
Yes.
So for beginners who are just getting started to Korean, what tips would you want to give them?
The main thing is like finding out why you want to learn, like figuring out your goal, your initial goal. It doesn't have to be the ultimate goal. Of course, the ultimate goal is to speak as well as you do, right?
Oh,
Like that's in Korean.
it's hot in here.
Seriously, but what is your first goal that you want to accomplish? A lot of people just have this really vague idea.
I want to speak Korean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too vague of a goal. So I think if you just set small mini goals and achieve those little baby steps, I think it definitely helps. And they can be like how to pronounce things better, learn how to say this one thing, or learn how to type in Korean. And then after that, it's all just baby steps. If you can say 저는 현우예요, I am Hyunwoo. Maybe you can say 저는 현우예요 and how do I say that? You can say 저는 현우고요 and just expanding little by little. Right? Try to be better than yesterday. That's it, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
For me though, I'd also want to add one more tip, which I think would be, don't be afraid to practice the language right away. Back before Korean, I was learning Japanese. For the first 2 years, I didn't practice at all.
Yeah.
So I decided to start going into chat rooms that were popular at the time and talk with friends who I normally wouldn't try to speak Japanese with. And within just a few months, I suddenly became able to speak it completely, whereas before I had no clue how to say anything.
Yeah, you have to practice a lot. You have to just learn to make mistakes. So that's really important. Another tip that I just thought of while listening to what you were saying is people just blindly follow curriculums. And even when they're practicing, even when they're in chat rooms or in language exchange groups, they are so, I guess, focused on the fact that they're there, that they're in the chat, that they forget to question whether they're actually learning anything. So I've also acquired this habit of just asking myself every single minute, not every single second, but every single minute, is this worth my time? Is this really worth this portion of my life?
Is this interview worth your time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I mean, of course, I can't think like that when I'm meeting with people. Is this person worth my time? I don't think like that, but whenever I'm sitting in front of a book, am I actually learning anything from this? Am I just going through the motions? Am I just deluding myself? So always ask, is this chapter in the Talk to Me in Korean book worth my time?
Yes.
But if not, if you are a vegetarian,
Okay.
and this one chapter is talking all about meat, all different kinds of meat, it's probably not worth it. If you are looking at a chapter of how to say sorry, and if you are the type of person who never apologizes, just skip it.
Skip it.
It's not worth your time. You're never going to apologize. So something like that. Just keep asking yourself, is this really the best thing I can do?
I think that's good, is that some people, and this actually leads into the next question, which I'll get to, is some people get so comfortable with the way that they're studying that they never take a step back and think again, am I using my time well?
Yeah.
Am I actually learning?
Yeah.
And that's actually what leads to people getting stuck in, I guess, a plateau.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what would be a tip for them, but I guess you're kind of already talking about that.
Yeah, I unfortunately have friends who have lived in Canada for 10 years or who used to live in Canada for many years, who either still lives there or came back and their English is just subpar. Of course, I mean, there's nothing wrong with their lifestyle. They have other priorities. They're close friends. So I want the best for them. So observing, they stopped observing. I also might be making the same mistake. I might have made the same kind of mistakes over and over again in the Talk to Me in Korean videos where I was speaking English. But at least, if you try to observe what other people are saying that are different from what you are saying, you will just keep improving.
People get to the level where they're able to have a basic Korean conversation and they kind of feel comfortable at that and they stay there for quite a long time.
Yeah, being comfortable is the problem.
Yeah. If you're feeling too comfortable when you're studying, and you're noticing that you're not improving, perhaps that's the reason. Take a step back and try to think again. what am I doing? Is this worth my time?
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to go back and pay more attention to what other people are doing. Give yourself more immersion in the immersion. Give yourself more immersion in the language. I can't even speak English. His English is better than mine, I swear.
No way.
Anyway, so thanks for tuning in to another episode. And again, this is Hyunwoo. Is there any other thing you'd like to say to the viewers?
Well, just keep learning. I think learning a new language, it doesn't have to be Korean. If you learn a new language and if you actually reach a level that's meaningful, at least to you, and if you can have a little conversation with the local people where you are traveling, you can actually change your life. You can really improve the quality of your life. So if you were on the brink of giving up, just hang in there, keep learning, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Do you want to say the thing, the 그럼 다음에 또 봐 with me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
그럼 다음에 또 봐.
That was good.
Yeah.